Hello, my name's Darren, I'm the Magic Ghostbuster. Now, for a while, I've wanted to make a model of the slime bathtub from Ghostbusters 2. You'll remember the scene where Dana's running in a bath and it fills up with slime and it sort of lunges out to grab her and the baby. So to do this, I've looked at different toy bathtubs, basically, as a starting block, and I found quite a lot of expensive ones, actually, that were designed for dolls' houses, the expensive dolls' houses. I found a few little toy ones that were designed for baby dolls, but they were completely the wrong shape, not what I was after. What I did find was this off eBay, and this is actually a hamster bathtub. Now I would have preferred a white one, but they don't come in white, they come in loads of different colours. I picked the pink because if the paint I'm going to put on this chips, and hopefully it will look like a bit like slime residue rather than just chip paint in theory. But my plan is I'm going to soften this so I can push it in a little, because I don't know if you remember from the scene when the slime lunged out, it kind of pulled the bathtub with it. The slime had become all, the bathtub had become sort of squishy as well, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to build up the slime with some air drying clay, paint it, all that sort of stuff. I'm not the best model maker in the world, so this could end up being a disaster. We shall find out, but I hope you enjoy however it goes. Thanks for watching. Okay, so to shape the bathtub just a little bit, I'm not doing anything too extreme, but the way I'm going to do this, I'm boiling some water, safety gloves, and all we're going to do is we place the bathtub in the water like that. And apparently, from what I read online, ABS plastic, which is what this is apparently made of, according to the place I bought it from, boiling water is enough of a temperature to soften it, so you can just, you know, move it about a bit as you need, but not enough to actually melt it properly. So that's what I'm doing. And just whilst I'm doing that, be sure to check out all my other videos on magic if you like magic and Ghostbusters, and please like and subscribe. So we'll just lay there for a little bit longer. Never done this before, so I'm kind of experimenting. This is the first time. And let's take that out. Yeah, so I am able to push that in a little bit. It's not a lot. It needs a bit more, but let's keep going. Okay, so now that's done, I've managed to push the sides in a little bit. Like I said, I didn't want it too extreme, so I've just gone in a little bit. I'm going to let that harden, and the next stage is to actually use some of the air drying clay to actually make the slime monster. Okay, so now that the bath is done, so I've pushed these in a little bit, it's now on to making the slime part. Now, I had originally planned to use air drying clay, but unfortunately all my clay has gone all hard, and I'm actually filming this during the coronavirus pandemic, so I can't go out and buy more, so I've had to improvise, and this is what I've made. And as you can see, that fit in the bath like that. Now, how I made this, I'm just going to show you very quickly. So what I did was I got a bag which I made a rough shape out of, and I've got some masking tape, and I just run the masking tape around the bag like this just to get the rough shape. Now I'm doing this quick, so this isn't going to be very neat. I'm just doing this to show you how I did it, basically. And so this masking tape's terrible. So that's roughly what I did. Let's have a bit more down the bottom. And then what I did was to build it up. So sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I actually covered this in some hot glue to make it a bit harder, which I won't do at the moment. I'll show you what I did after that. I started building it up with some tin foil, so I started adding bits here and taking some, wrapping it around like that to build it up. So obviously that's not exact, but that gives you a rough idea of how I did it. And I covered all this in hot glue, and then to get the, I guess you'd call it the face bit, I actually just cut into that with a knife to just try and cut out the shape as best I could, and then hot glued around that as well. And the same with these groove bits. So it's all covered in hot glue. It's giving it quite a lot of strength. Now I guess the only downside to this is it has made it quite lumpy, I guess is the word. It was very smooth in the film, but I actually quite like the lumpy effect, I must admit. So I'm gonna stick with that. Although I guess you could just sand that down or cut into it, but as I said, I'm going to leave it like that because I quite like it. So the next stage now is I'm going to cover both of these in primer, because I'm going to glue that in, but I've decided to paint them first, because once I stick this in, it's going to be very hard to paint the sides and these bits. So my plan is cover these both in primer, paint this with white gloss, paint this pink, and then stick them together. Add a bit of glue around the edges just to fill up the slime bath, paint a little bit more, and then cover it in lacquer. So that's my plan, and yeah, hopefully this will turn out good. We shall see. Okay, so now that I have the primer all over the bathtub and slime, so the next step is to spray this with some white gloss. Then I'll be painting this with like a pink acrylic paint. So this is what I have at the moment. I have the slime, which needs a few more coats. That's currently drying, and I have the bathtub, which I have painted white. There are a couple of bits where the paint hasn't taken properly and rang a little bit, and it's probably just me overdoing it. I've rung out of white paint, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just bits of pink on a few of those bits, just to make it look like slime residue that's leaked over. I know it's not screen accurate, but it will just help hide some of the little errors. Okay, so I have painted this. I've painted this. One thing I had come up with was I actually put a nail in the bottom of this through this card, so that way I could paint all the way around without having to do one side at a time. So let's just take that nail out, because the next step is place it in the bath like this. With that, I think that looks quite cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill the bottom of the bath up with some hot glue, put it in, and then just paint any little touch-up bits. Okay, so we're getting there. He's stuck in. The one thing left to do now is to give it like a gloss lacquer. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the slime itself is looking very matte, and I want it nice and glossy to look slimy. But yeah, we are nearly finished. So that is it, pretty much finished, all lacquered now, so it's got nice shininess to the slime. There's only one little thing I want to add. In the film, when Dana started filling the bath, there was I think it's called a bath float or something like that in the bath, and when the monster lunges forward you can actually see it in this part here. So to make that, what I'm going to do is take a kitchen sponge, which I've kind of pre-trimmed, place that in there, and that's it. And that is the slime bath finished. I'm very happy with how it came out. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, subscribe, check out all my magic videos, and I'll see you next time.